minasan, doshite? And I mean, genuinely, how are y'all doing? How are y'all, the viewer, doing today? As of right now, I'm, recording this a couple of days after the election happened. Personally, I'm kind of glad that Trump won, but, like, either candidate could give a heck less about me personally. Even though I am an American citizen, but I didn't vote, but we're getting off topic. I've got some Jim Beam Devil's Cut. Take a couple of shots of that while drinking some of the, oh my, Red Bull coconut. Red Bull coconut. Coconut has been growing on me as a flavor. How are y'all doing right now? Like I said, I'm doing pretty decently. I'm in the middle of recording and editing a few other videos, but I wanted to start this series because, you know, I've in this past year I've upgraded my format for this channel and how I want to present my content. Especially with the webcam. I'm very, like I said, it's a very good investment that I bought a webcam. But plug. Also, this video is not about my YouTube stats. I could kind of go off about that on a different video. Like I said, this is like political, quote unquote, even though this is just how I personally feel as a regular American citizen, you know, somebody that's like been screwed over by the system, and I'm gonna point out why I think, you know, where exactly the epicenter of this problem is for me, because my agenda on this channel is just basically to shit on car dependency and traffic, and I live in Dallas, and Dallas has a pretty awful reputation for its traffic as well as its roadway incidents and all this nonsense, and I personally want to put a stop to all of that. That's no good. I don't like people in big ass trucks driving around the highway. I mean, shit, like, it wasn't perfect when Trump was in office, but I remember back when he was in office, I first got my driver's license and I started driving. The roads were at least drivable back then. Nowadays, there's just potholes everywhere, traffic 24/7. This is the reason why I bought a bike, which, the battery, you can charge this thing for 5 hours from empty to full, which kind of sounds lame and cringe, especially if you think about the mileage, but like I really just use this for short distances. And I mean, the main point, this is going to be an important word for this channel, as well as for, like, you know, these format of videos, well, format, but like these subject of videos where I'm shitting on traffic, car dependency, is mobility independence. I poured way too much in that shot. Mobility independence. So what does that mean? What does that mean? Let's break that down. Mobility is the ability to move, right? You can walk, you can bike, you can drive, you can take public transport. You got options, right? That's my main mobility, right? You got multiple options of mobility. And independence, which is independence from having to buy a car, you know, being compulsed into buying a car because of shitty roadway infrastructure. You have to also be dependent, energy dependent. That's the second thing, energy dependent. So you're not having to dig up for unnecessary crude oil and fossil fuels to fuel your thing up. Like I said, even though my bike battery takes 5 hours to charge, you just charge it into the wall. You can really do this anywhere. You don't have to go to specific location, like a gas station, to charge up the bike. Like, I just got to link the cable into the socket back there behind this drawer, charge it up for a little bit, and then I can just do biking, all the biking I want, in a relatively short and easy distance. And that's what I do on that thing, you know. I don't, because I just don't like sitting in traffic for mundane ass grocery trips or wasting money on gas. Gas that could have been, you know, well better used in long distance commutes, like going from where I live to downtown Dallas. You know, it's a long trip, but it really shouldn't be a long trip. Yeah, we just don't have the proper infrastructure, which is sad because neither administration, neither Democrats nor Republicans, really give a fuck about this topic. To be honest with you guys, they don't. Like my city, for example, my city or county, my county of Dallas, I believe is one of the few areas in Texas that actually voted Democrat. And I mean, neither party really cares as long as really cares what's going on in terms of transportation, as long as that county is voting on their side. So Kamala is going to continue pushing the narratives going on in Dallas because Dallas voted for blue. It'd be the same. I mean, Kaufman County next door, 20 miles or so to the east, would vote Republican, and Donald Trump doesn't really care what goes on there transportation-wise as long as the people there are going to vote for Republicans. So it's a catch-22 situation for people like me who are really invested onto the agenda of transportation and mobility independence. And it's also very good for not only for the environment as well as for your finances. Like, as I just mentioned, it's really pointless that I've got to spend money on gas to get to places that are 5 minutes away when I could just get on the bike. The bike really has good distance on it if you pace it correctly and whatnot, you know. But that's a whole different subject. Car dependency is just unnecessarily expensive. Everything about it, from the cars, from the roads, the maintenance, all of that costs money, and it's far too much. You see countries like the Netherlands or Japan where people walk or bike a lot more frequently, and their roads are nowhere near as fucked up. Even the cars, even the roads that are designated to have cars in them are nowhere near as messed up as at the average road in America, especially when you compare it to a state like Texas. And so that's my main motive for these videos, is to get the people of Texas to realize that the Department of Transportation is just bonkers. It's bullshit what they're doing, because they're holding up traffic, they're holding up actual projects that could help people get out of poverty, but no, they're gonna continue investing into highways because that's what makes them money. It's what continues the whole shenanigans going on in DC. Plug. The thing that the common American has kind of forgotten, they've forgotten that, like, they themselves are independent from all of this going on in DC. I mean, that was the point of the revolution, right? American settlers coming from Britain, for generations were living in American soil, realized that taxation on imported goods and all of this was bullshit. It was bullshit on them, because they were paying taxes to London across the Atlantic Ocean. And so they got up and started the American Revolution. It's the reason why we're a country in the first place. I think that sort of philosophy has kind of almost been lost, especially when people talk about how much the government controls everything. And I mean, the government should not control our transportation. I really strongly am against government control of transportation, because we as Americans are looking at this right now, and we're wondering why do cities like L.A., why do cities like Dallas and Houston, Atlanta, why do they all have really crazy ass traffic? Why do they experience all this road rage incidents and car collisions and all of this? It's because of car dependency. Car dependency. And why are these cities a lot more poorer nowadays than they were in their prime over half a century ago? It's because cars have depleted all the wealth. It's as simple as that. Nobody invested in alternatives in within that 50 years of Americana at its prime between then and now. I mean, nobody invested into actual alternatives for fossil fuels or car dependency. Nobody actually invested into rapid transit for the public that's free, or not free, but like is easy to access. And if you do, then you get things like BART, Bay Area Rapid Transit, which is a complete joke in my opinion. I've been to San Francisco a few times, like 5 or so years ago, and I really don't think much has changed there because we're talking about San Francisco. Let's be honest with you guys. It's basically just like driving in the highway between different cities. Like it's the same rates, same numbers you're talking about, which is a real shame. Like, because BART has potential. If BART actually changed its trajectory and how it's moving Bay Area citizens, then I really would see BART like utilizing its potential. But no, they're just building tracks along parallel to the highways, which doesn't make any sense if you really get down to the brass tacks. I mean, you can do an easy Google assessment, compare different cities across the world to American cities that actually have rapid transit in them, like San Francisco or LA or Chicago. And American cities are just far slower than, say, Japan or cities in Europe, which is just, it's really embarrassing for a country that wants to be dominant on the world stage and wants to tell everybody how to actually do freedom. You know, it's kind of hypocritical and embarrassing if you ask me. And yeah, that's really my agenda on this channel, because I don't think either party really cares about the environment. They don't care about the transport or the financial situation of the average American. I mean, I've done so much research on this. I realize that the national election is pretty moody. It's pretty baseless in my agenda, which this is something I'm gonna work on into next year, coming into next year. Is investing myself into local politics, because it's really possible that I could do something like that and make a change. God damn, the lighting, and what the hell is going on with the lighting right now? I'm like pale as a ghost. Yeah, let me sit right here. Yeah, man. I'm just like, God damn, my skin is reflecting. But that's besides the point. Oh, Neko kitty. Got my cat sleeping on my bed. But yeah, the idea that Americans are so dependent, they're so needy and gravitated towards the automobile is just, it's pretty cringe. It's pretty cringe because you have, as I mentioned, Japan and Europe and a few other countries. They're a lot more, their transportation's a lot more sustainable, and they have a lot more freedom and say into how that works, whether that's on a local level or on a national level. I mean, let's take the Shinkansen, for example, from Japan. That was like a whole national project, you know. But then there are also other smaller local services that'll take you from like Shikoku, which is like a smaller island in Japan, to Honshu, which is the main island in Japan. Yeah, I forgot to add this in the video, but also stand the Autobahn in Germany. The Autobahn's actually a pretty based idea because I mean, it's just an idea that America should have in general because America likes freedom, right? You should have the freedom to go as fast as you want in a highway, right? It's just common sense. I don't know what to tell you. I think being restricted, being capped to like 60, 70 miles an hour on a freeway that doesn't really change in appearance is pretty cringe. I don't know about you, but that's rather cringe. Yeah, I just thought I had to throw this in there, but I realized I didn't go off on that while I was recording, so here it is. I don't entirely hate cars. There, like I said it. I'm tired of this misconception going around that like I hate cars, and I realize that they have a purpose in this world, right? They bring goods from one place to another, and like I said, it's necessary for long distance travel on land. Same with planes, aerial long distance travel. Just don't do that Taylor Swift stuff, or I will hunt you down, or send a marksman on you or something. Easy as that. It's strange for a country as proud on its capitalist values and as proud of its independence as it is, for America not to invest into actual, decent and independent, like invest into options, invest into mobility independence. And I know people are gonna argue and say that cars are a form of mobility independence. I mean, yeah, it was one of the brackets that I listed off when I said mobility independence. I mean, you can walk, you can bike, you can drive, you can take public transport. Driving is part of it, but so is flying, and nobody really flies outside of like long distance travel. So I think cars should be in like a similar position where unless you're hauling something or like going long distance, you really shouldn't need a car. It's just kind of simple as that. I think I said everything I had to say in a concise way without getting all conspiracy theory onto you guys. Really support strong towns if you're into the same thing that I'm into. Where, god damn, I cannot get used to the camera, but you read it. You've read it on my shirt already. I support strong towns. I think they're a very good nonpartisan example of what I'm talking about. And they also get into a lot of the details. Like they get into like a finer. They use charts and all that to explain my points, like financial stability and mobility independence and all that. Yeah, I mean, you wonder why Americans are so fat and lazy. None of them bike. None of them actually go outside and jog. Or it used to be different, though. It used to be different 50 to 75 years ago. It used to be different. A lot more Americans used to go outside and be more physical. But nowadays, you have all these
mischievous dog
eating. Let me stop right there. But you get my idea. You've got all these lard tubs not walking, but just driving around in their SUVs, in their electric SUVs, thinking that's gonna save the environment. No, really, you need something that's light and compact that will take you from point A to point B and back, just like a bike, Anyway, guys, that concludes my rant about politics and like mobility independence in the U.S. and why I think the transportation of America is a complete and utter joke, and we really need to step up and change it. If you like this video, please leave a like, comment, help my algorithm out, share this video, subscribe. Consider, if you got the money, consider donating to the Patreon or set up an account with Atmos. Use my referral link for $10 on sign up. I also get I also get $10 on your sign up, so it benefits both me and you. And you also benefit in the you also benefit the environment in creating an Atmos account. So, without anything else to say, until next time, mata ne.